pass or fail. You decide. Upcycling SOS.
Hello and welcome to Upcycling SOS. Time to start on the writing bureau now. I've got a lot to do for this one. Got to fix the leg, got a primer, got to paint, any other issues that might come along, the transfer, the epoxy moulds, gilding, waxing, shading using wax, decoupage. We've got the whole lot on this video. Might take a bit longer than usual because I've got a lot in there. So let's see how we get along. So first of all, remember how it used to look? Let's see if we can make it any better. Let's go. Right, let's put the leg together. So first of all, I'm going to have to sand them down just to get rid of the old glue that's on there. The best I can, because I think this was hot glue and it's difficult to get off. And then we'll reassemble and see if we can just clamp it, because I don't want to use screws or nails or anything like that. So see how it goes. That's it now together. And what I'll do is I'll put this flat on something, put a piece of wood on the top just to clamp this bottom part down. And then tomorrow should be as solid as a rock. Great stuff. My plan for this then, going forward, is going to be blue. It's a tin of paint called Dining Room Blue, I think it's called, from F&B. What I like about this paint is the fact that it's like, you know, when you point your lights at something, it either goes darker or it goes lighter depending on its environment and what kind of sunlight or natural light or fake light that hits it, kind of changes that kind of mood and colour. Well, that's what this is supposed to do, so I thought that's a bit different, so that'd be cool. Moulding, I'm going to have moulding on here, silicone moulds. The mould I got was Royal Emblem by Redesign and Prima. And I'm also going to do transfer. So I'm going to have a gold script on here. That's again with Redesign and Prima. I've got gold handles, I think they're called shelf, half moon handles, shell handles, I'm not sure, I'll tell you later if I know. And I'm also going to be applying not only clear wax to protect the paint and the transfer, but I'm also going to try shading with dark wax. Like I said before, this is an ambitious project, but hopefully it'll turn out great. So I've done the leg, that's clamped on here now, as you can see. I'm going to source a new lock, so I'll just wait for that to arrive. So by the time that I've got everything in place, then it'll be fine. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take these handles off. I'm going to give it a scuff sand, and there are certain areas, a little bit here, in which I'll need to apply a bit of wood filler where it's come off here, because otherwise, if I do, I'm going to have to take it all off, and I'm not sure that's the way I want to go. So I'm going to scuff sand it first and see if I have to just take this whole thing off to the bare wood, which I don't want to do. I'd like to keep this on there. There's added protection for the wood, isn't it? So scuff sand, a bit of filler here, hopefully, and I'm going to fill the holes up with thing on this as well, the wood filler, and we'll see how it goes from there, shall we? So let's start with taking the hardware off, filling the holes, scuff sand, and the wood filler there. And tomorrow I'll give it a primer. Let's go. Right, I've sanded it all down. I've fixed the crack in a shelf. I've put wood filler here where there was a bit of gaps. The leg is now secured on and is solid. So all I need to do now, really, to this, is give it a really good wash down. Make sure that it's nice and clean, ready for the primer. But before we do that, said this was going to be ambitious. We've got decor mould, Royal Emblem by Redesign from Prima, or with Prima. So, got some epoxy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them here. I'll show you later. So let's first open it and see what it's like. So, from what I've seen online, it's pretty simple. But when's it ever simple? Huh? Right, so silicone moulds, very flexible, durable, looks really good actually. So let's get cracking on the epoxy. Comes part A and part B. Oh, I've got some other things in here. Glitter. Guess I want to do a party one day. Save that for later. And here I've got a more glitter, a little stirring spoon, and a pipettes. And I'm going to need them, I don't think. There we go. Part A and part B. Put them off there. Anything else in here? Right, so part A is your resin, and your part B is your hardener. 1-for-1 measurements, and it should take between 10 and 15 minutes, I believe, 5 to 6 minutes to dry. You'll know when it's dry because it'll become white, so from a clear to a white. So I need to do equal parts, so I'll do that here. Let's say, I don't know what the measurements are really that I need for that, so let's just fill it, shall we? Right, okay, so let's start with epoxy resin hardener. You have to be fairly precise with this one, apparently. Well, not fairly precise, you have to be very precise. Right, let's do 25 mil. Okay, 1-for-1 Stir in one direction for 5 to 6 minutes, mix slowly, make sure there's no bubbles. Keep the mixed resin stay for about 5 minutes for self-degassing, and pour them into the side of the mould slowly to avoid additional bubbles. Mixture should be used up before it becomes thick. Work time is about 40 minutes. So that's about 10 minutes. Cover and let cure for 24 hours before demoulding. Holy moly! Heat and mass will dictate the amount of cure time required. Oh well, this might be a tomorrow gig then. Anyway, let's get cracking. Epoxy's in the mould. I'm not very careful. Hopefully it'll do the trick. So while I wait that to set, I'll give this a good wash, and if that's not done by the time I'm finished with this, then what I might do, start with the primer everywhere, because I'm going to prime it before I paint it. I think that'll be the best way to do it. And we'll go from there. Oh, first of all, I need to do the handles for the drawers. Right, so I'll get cracking on that then. Like me on a Friday night, tats up quite nicely. That's not going to set for another 24 hours, so I'm not going to bother. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning, start primer. All set now, ready to rock and roll. Let's go with this. So next job will be stick these emblems on here, because I've got, where's the card? I'll show you. So that's the design I've gone for. Now, these in that order, we're going there, there, and there. Should look pretty nice, shouldn't it? Right, primer. Let's see how the moulds did. This works. I thought it was supposed to be really hard, but they're quite pliable. So if I've ever got a piece of furniture that I want to do mouldings on, I know I can, and it's got a curved edge, and I can just work that on there. Tip top. Right, I'm going to put these on there. I'll trim this one first, and then I've got no nails by Unibond. Should work. And I saw online they were using Gorilla Glue, but it's got the same thing, isn't it? What's better, this or Gorilla Glue? Comment below. What I'll do now is I'll give a quick coat of primer. I'll avoid them for the time being, because I'm going to give it 2 coats anyway, so I can come back to it later on. But I'll do that first. Right, I'm going to do the primer now. I've got F&B Dark Tones Interior Wood Primer and Undercoat. Because it's blue, it's darker colour, I suppose. So I'll get this, try this out. I'm going to use the roller for the sides, or where I can really, save time, and a little brush for the intricate details. That's the first coat on. Drawers are done. Let's have a look at the detail on this now then. Look at that. I'm happy with that. Right, I'll just leave it for a little bit. And we'll get cracking with another coat later. Great stuff. Right, so a couple of coats now of the primer. Now it's time for the base coat. And what I've got is this blue from F&B, Drawing Room Blue. So let's see how that goes on. So let's get cracking. Right, we've got 3 coats of the Drawing Room Blue on there, and it looks quite nice. The lid is here. What do you think about that bad boy? Nice, isn't it? Now we're on to transfer decal. Now I've got this one from Redesign the Primer. It's called Lovely Script. And that'll be on the face. Now this is my first go, so let's see what it comes. Not as easy as they make it look. Learning. I think that looks bob on. Get a better view. I'm impressed. It is important to go slow because they're so thin, the actual transfer, that if you just rush it, it'll just rip. And take your time, and as you can see, it works. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can. It looks amazing. Right, now that's done. On to waxing, I suppose. Protect it. Right, I can start waxing now. I've given it a quick wipe over so there's no dust or nothing like that. And what I'm using is Rust-Oleum's finishing wax. So what we'll do is we'll start with here. And this will protect the wood and the paint. Well, this is still fairly wet for that one. We're going to try another new thing, and we're going to start using black wax. First of all, with a little brush, we're going to go on the edges. Gold gilding wax. So delicate, and how it just brings something different to it, doesn't it? Superb, superb. And now it's time for new hardware. Right, decoupage time. I've cut them to size to make it easy for myself. I made a mould or a paper cut out of the sides because they've got really weird shapes. So, Mod Podge, I went for the gloss. Let's just lather this up, shall we? I'll leave that dry and then I'll give a coat on the top because this is not just a glue, it's also a sealant. So now it's time for the draw itself. And that's it. We're all done. Now, remember how it used to look? It needed a lot. Like I said, this was very ambitious, but finally, I can now reveal the final product. What do you think? Here it is. What do you think of this? A lot of firsts, a lot of challenges along the way, but I really enjoyed doing this one. I think it looks a little better than it used to. It all came together, but like I said, it had its issues. The stenciling wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be easy, or the transfer I should say. Didn't think it was going to be easy, but you know, I thought the mould was only going to take like 10 minutes, took a day. With the shading, I can't remember if I'm going to put it in or not, I don't think I am, but you don't need a lot, put it that way, on your brush when you're doing shading. I started on the corner over there and it was just black. And then I was trying to rub it off and it didn't work. So a tip for you, if that happens, get some clear wax, go over it and it'll brush off. So another tip for you. But yeah, I'm really impressed and I'm chuffed to bits. What do you think? You let me know how this is. This is my first big project. I mean, I did the shading, the blending on the drawers, all the scrapbook builds and that. But this is something different, isn't it? And it even did some decoupage inside. Look, wow. One thing I did do as well, where the brackets screwed in, obviously I decoupaged over them thinking, I could just feel it and prod a nail through and that'll be done. Yes, on this side, on that side, no, I had to make another hole. But it's fantastic, isn't it? I saw Kasia do the gold just on the outside. I think it does give it something different, which is lovely. This is nice. So I really need to give a massive thank you for Kasia. I will leave a description link below because she's the one who gave me the ideas for this, looking at hers. Check her stuff out, it is fantastic, trust me. So, there we go, another one done. So, as usual, remember to like, subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm nearly hitting 50 now, so let's get there. And comment down below. How did it go? What would you have done different? Just a China. So, remember, recycle, reuse, upcycle. Bye for now.